Hey there, everybody. Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter from CarterMatt.com and Coco Chanel.
And we have all collectively made it through the first week of new episodes for The Circle. I feel like really sad at this point because it's like, what are we supposed to do with ourselves for like the next little while until the next batch comes out?
Yeah, I know. This show is addictive.
Can we go get some cake supplies? Is that an option?
That's always an option.
Okay, everybody loves cake. Important thing to note here before we get into this. All right, before we dive into all the fun stuff, if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any other updates. There is so much ridiculousness to talk about from this episode, like so many little entertaining moments, but I think we have to, alas, talk first about the demise of Antonio is going back to the basketball courts. I don't know if he's playing overseas again because he's not playing in the circle.
No, he's not. I see what you did there.
Yeah, there you go. But I mean, I can't say that I'm surprised.
No, I wasn't surprised at all. He was the person that I predicted was going to end up going. He just didn't make those connections. So much so that it even wasn't too much of a surprise that he went to go visit Karen. Now, my main question is, and I don't know if it was explained and I missed it, but I know that Miranda wasn't allowed to vote or do any or be voted out or anything like that. But could she have been the choice that Antonio made to go and see? And the reason I'm throwing that out there as it's not gameplay anymore, really, but it kind of is. If you ever wanted to go out in a blaze of glory, could you go to the new person and be like, this is happening, this alliance is happening, I was in with these three people, blah, 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 and just spill the beans?
This is my feeling on it for the time being. I feel like as long as you probably know who that player is, then I think you should be allowed to go and see them. I mean, let's say, for example, Alex, who we're going to talk about later, was in the game and nobody knew his name or anything yet. I don't think you should be allowed to just visit an anonymous, no-name person that you've never interacted with. But there were chances for Antonio and Miranda to interact, so I think she should have been fair game.
I'm just curious to know if anyone's going to end up using that as just a go out in a blaze of glory.
I think we know what you would do in this situation based on this line of thinking.
Oh, I would burn everybody's game going out the door. Anyone I was in an alliance with that let me down, I'm going to the new person and I am burning everyone.
You know,
this is why I wasn't asked.
See, I think I just figured out apparently, well, you've just ruined your entire strategy for the Circle Season 2, unfortunately.
I'll never be asked on this show.
I think that Antonio's biggest problem in the game is that he really kind of felt like Mr. Calm, Cool, and Collected. That's a good way to be in life, but I think sometimes you need to be a little bit vulnerable. You need to let people in, and especially when there is no other way of communicating. They can't catch your vibe, Antonio. Like, they don't really know what you're like. They don't even know who you really are. You gotta be able to sort of open up and play more than just a strategic game.
Yeah, I feel like the only thing I'll remember about Antonio is that he's a basketball player. And the other people have given so much more to each other. And even just to the camera talking to us, which, I really love.
Yeah. The only things I know about Antonio at the moment is that he tried to make some sort of like catchphrase happen with the words player or game, but it was so bad I don't even remember it right now. And this is just like hours removed. So Antonio, I'm sorry, but it's not happening. I think you need to just stop it with that. But also, he's a chef or something. Apparently, he doesn't know how to poach an egg, so...
Yeah, that was so ridiculous. And I love that Miranda was just like, oh, so he doesn't know how to poach an egg. He just told me to scramble it.
Antonio would not do well on MasterChef, so we are learning other reality shows that Antonio would not fare very well at either.
How great was that interaction with him and Karen? I loved it. I have not made it any secret that I am a fan of Karen. She is easily my favorite. I just love her. I think she's so smart and she's so funny, and she handled that really well. That could have gone sideways if that was someone else.
it was such a cool moment. And I love the fact that within this first week of the circle, we had a legitimate, like, jaw-dropping moment of somebody realizing that they've been catfished. And to have it be Karen, and also just Karen's explanation, I think was just so heartfelt in a lot of ways. I don't think Seaburn could have gotten away with this in the way that Karen did.
No, because he's doing it for a completely different reason, a little more devious to have gameplay, but her explanation was very genuine, and I think Antonio saw that. At least he said he did, and I believe what he said. So
yeah,
it was nice to see him have a different perspective of stuff like this, where she was kind of like, if I looked like this, would you have been chatting me up? Probably not. So here we are.
Yeah, I think this is really just her sort of laying things out there for him. I think she was very real with him. I think he really appreciated that. And, you know, with the first elimination with Alana, it felt very still contentious, like even after her and Sammy had that conversation.
Yeah.
And it was just sort of like after Antonio left, it was like, all right, Antonio's gone. But then we get the video message, which is, this is Antonio going down in a blaze of glory.
Yes.
He didn't think of your idea, unfortunately, but he thought of this and saying that he's spoken with someone and not everyone is what they seem, ...
So he called out a catfish, and I'm guessing there are rules in place that he can't just come onto the video and be like, hey, everybody, Karen's a catfish, and you're not allowed to completely blow up someone's game. But you can use these farewell messages to cause a little bit of problems, play a little further game, and I like that. It used to kind of be like that a little more with Big Brother, where these goodbye messages, people could use them for jury and stuff like that. And I know there's nothing like that happening on the circle, but just the same. It's cool to see that message being used for evil.
Thank you, Antonio, very much for giving us some gold in order to talk about it. Also, for giving Karen more material because she's realizing, oh no, he's talking about me. So she has to sort of just scramble and figure out ways to sort of get around this and make things happen for her.
Yeah, and it was good that she started calling up the people or messaging the people that she has a relationship with, like Chris.
Yeah.
And that was a cool moment, too, to even just with Chris, when Chris and Shuby were talking about who they were going to eliminate.
Yeah.
Chris revealed himself to me as a Big Brother fan as soon as he said, oh, and the screen goes gray, or the picture goes gray. I was like, that's not what just happened. You just get blocked and you get taken off. So you, my friend, are a Big Brother fan.
Chris, you would have been fine on Big Brother. I think you would have been entertaining there, but I kind of love you for this show. You are the perfect ambassador for it. You can be the HOH of the circle. Unfortunately, that just comes with no power at all, and you don't even get a fancy robe. So
yeah, except that in this game, I was trying to think about that too. When he said that about the grayed out picture, I started to think, okay, if he was on Big Brother, how would he do? Because people who have a lot of charisma typically do all right in Big Brother. But here, it feels like someone who has charisma like him. Everybody likes Chris.
Yeah.
Nobody's targeting Chris, which is incredible to me that nobody is seeing Chris as a problem that is going to go to the end of this. He's just so likable in a game where likability is, key to winning this game, that no one is targeting him. And I think in Big Brother that might end up, it could work to his advantage in some ways. But, there are more likely in Big Brother people that see people who are like, oh, damn, everybody likes this person. That's a problem.
Yeah, I just think in this particular environment, it's easier and it's better to just have just different social interactions with different people and just find ways to use your charisma because people don't see you, so they don't feel that element of it. So I think you gauge your threat levels a little bit differently. And what I liked about what Karen did, she had that discussion with Chris, where it seemed like she was sort of able to maybe push Joey a little bit more under the bus. And she had one with Sammy. So she's already basically talked to two of the more perceptive people and tried to already sort of divert them away from her.
Yeah, and it feels like she did a very good job with that they both bought what she was selling, and they are two people that everyone really likes. So if they believe her, then that's going to help spread that.
Yeah, I think you just plant a couple of seeds. You don't want to go around to everyone and be like, so about this catfish.
Yeah, for sure, because then, there's smoke and there's fire, right?
Yeah.
But if you've only talked to the two people that you really have a relationship with and you talk to on somewhat of a regular basis, then it comes across as authentic. If she called up Joey and was like, hey, Joey, it's not me, then Joey'd be like, we never talk. Why are you calling me?
Yeah, I think it's just ultimately, Karen seems to have done a good job with this for now. I don't know if it's going to last forever for her, because we're not at a position yet where we've gotten to see new rankings, and it feels like there's a lot of things that are still going to kind of ebb and flow. We don't know where Miranda really stands with everything. Other than that, Miranda, this is Miranda's game since entering the circle.
Yeah, she is playing a really terrible game, and I know that her and Joey had a little bit of kind of a connection, but it still didn't feel like enough. Like, if it's between her and Shuby, she's getting kicked out the door.
Yeah.
And it was such a nice, genuine moment to see how excited Joey was that Shuby did not kick him out. He was just like, yeah, I knew it. Our relationship is tight. So Miranda, her game just seems to be flirt with this person, that person. And in the end, once everyone's talking, they're like, oh yeah, she's flirted with every single person in here, then that strategy is over. And she pretty much has flirted with every single person in there. I feel like the strategy is going to blow up.
Yeah, it doesn't come across as genuine at a certain point, because there's only so many times you can sort of be like, your picture, it did a little something to me that no other picture did. I mean, unless she somehow can look at every single picture at the same time, I feel like that is really, really difficult to pull off.
And it was also interesting to see everyone when she put up her video and people like, oh, wait a second, she had a tattoo here. Oh, but she didn't have a tattoo here. Maybe it's a different person.
That was...
Or maybe, guys, they were taken at different times. Like the narrator said, you're not born with tattoos, so maybe she didn't have it at that age, but she has it at this age. It was really kind of strange.
Yeah, so this video is the consequence of the cake challenge, which we'll get into in just a second, but she's able to have a video that no one else has, and by a video, I kind of thought it was going to be like, I didn't think it was really going to be a video of her being like, hey, circle people, what's going on? But I thought maybe like a 4-second like home movie or something. And instead you get like, one of these like annoying little things of just like somebody doing that or whatever. It's just sort of like...
Yeah, like on Instagram Boomerang where you're just like, look at my food, whatever it is, right? It's really kind of ridiculous.
If somebody does one of these flossing, I will immediately cancel the circle before we get to the end of the season.
I was surprised that they allowed a video, because we know that Karen has pictures of somebody that she doesn't even know.
Yeah.
So obviously the show got clearance by this person to use this video or to use these photos, but I don't know if they were going to get clearance to use a video.
I think they must have. I think they had to have had some. I think Karen has to have something sort of stored away with this, but... I loved the Shuby reconnaissance of this photo. He was like really becoming like Sherlock Holmes here with him like, there's a tattoo here and there's not a tattoo here. This doesn't. It's like, like you just said, Shuby.
Oh my God, Shuby definitely doesn't have any tattoos at this point when he's saying stuff like that. It's so ridiculous.
Okay, I have waited long enough. I must talk about the cake challenge, which
All right, let's talk about it. I know you love cake. I know you love cooking, so let's have at it.
A groundbreaking moment in reality TV history. Okay, I might be exaggerating a little bit, but this was tremendous. This was okay. So everyone's going to get a chance to try to replicate this cake in a shortened period of time. And I love that they basically gave them no time in order to figure this out.
Yeah, it was really fast.
You had people who had no idea what they were doing whatsoever. Shuby tried to make some sort of like interpretive art out of his
banana thing on the top. I actually thought when I saw Shuby do that he was going to win that. I wasn't actually sure that they were going to pick whoever's cake was the closest to being right. That if there was something like they saw Joey's mess
Oh, we're going to talk about Joey's.
And it gave people a laugh that people be like, oh, I'm voting for that. Because I'm telling you, if I was in the circle and I saw either Shuby or Joey's cake, boop, they'd get my like. Because that is just, if you're going to give me a smile, you're going to get it.
You are being very sympathetic to Joey in this
I
case.
just think it's funny.
You are basically doing to Joey what you do to my Christmas package wrapping every time, where it's so horrible. You just feel bad and you decide to praise me for it.
I love it. It's so fun.
Chris's line about Joey's cake, where I believe he said something like equating it to a dump, which was one of the rather disgusting, but at the same time hilarious moments of this episode, because it was horrendous. I don't know how Joey managed to get like every color of the rainbow surrounding this cake, in addition to whatever it was he managed to put at the top of it.
Yeah, that cake was a tremendous dump.
Joey has never made anything in his life. That is the observation that I have taken from the circle in this episode. And Joey made
But it was so much fun to watch him try to make that cake. Oh my goodness. He knew that he wasn't going to be able to replicate it, so it was so great that he was just like, you know what? I'm not going to be able to do this, so this is what's going to happen. I'm going to go for a laugh.
Well, the funny thing is right now, before we talk about our new arrival and Alex, is that we're 4 episodes into the circle, and other than Miranda, I actually feel like it's a relatively even playing field at the moment. Like, I mean, I think Sammy may still have some work to do with some people, but it kind of feels like everyone is reasonably well liked by other people, that they all have interesting little strategic things that are going on.
And it's interesting that nobody has tried to play the angle of, I'm just going to make an alliance with everyone. Because we've seen that in Big Brother, where it's like, if somebody asks you to be in an alliance, you say yes. Yeah. And you say yes to everybody, because why not?
Yeah.
How is that going to hurt you unless it really blows up in your face? But this is such a different game that I feel, unless somebody is specifically going to go to someone else and start spreading stuff, and that's not really happening here. Nobody's sharing information. That it feels like you can just be in an alliance with everyone. That's why when we had Shuby and we had Joey call up Chris and he left it so ambiguous, I was just like, why wouldn't you say yes? Why not?
I kind of feel like that's a bad move on Chris's part in that moment. I don't know if Joey and Shuby caught on to it, but if I was playing the game and we offered up something to someone and they basically gave us a Destiny's Child quote back, I know that Destiny's Child broke up. So I would kind of feel like, okay, well, you're just telling us that maybe you'll join us right now, but you're planning to leave us later.
Well, absolutely. Yeah. And that's why, it seems like the two of them, there was no afterwards where they're like, yeah, I think we got Chris. Neither of them said that. So tells me that they don't think that they got him. Yeah. And that's fine. But on Chris's side, I don't know. He didn't have to necessarily say yes, but he didn't need to be quite so, I'll use you for now and then I'll Beyonce you later. Yeah. He could have been like, hey, let's continue talking. Let's continue to get to know each other. I haven't spent that much time with you guys, so hit me up a little bit later and let's chat some more. Yeah. That would have been coming across really genuine, seeing where they land. Why shouldn't he, Chris, entertain this?
I think in general, the one thing that Shuby is not doing great right now is I think he's making his bromance with Joey a little bit too public, where it's going to start to seem like these two are linked, and then there's going to be we love them both, but we got to split them up sort of mentality going on.
Yeah, they've made it a little too public.
And I think that's going to be a problem.
And no one else really has.
All right, so let's talk now about the closing minutes, the arrival of Alex, who has very interesting fashion taste, to say the least, first and foremost.
Yeah, he looks like he kind of showed up in pajama pants, kind of.
Yeah. I am not someone to talk about fashion, so I will not give you any sort of flack here at all, Alex, but the pajama pants, interesting choice. You're not going to play as yourself, you're going to play as Adam, who looks like every dude on Instagram in a gym.
Absolutely, and I am super stoked to have another catfish and to finally have a male catfish in here. This is dope. I can't wait to see how this is going to play out.
Yeah, I wish we had actually gotten to see in this episode like a little bit of his personality, because I want to know, because the problem is, as somebody who is not a dude bro, I feel like I'd have a hard time knowing what a dude bro is supposed to say.
I'm very interested in that too, because as soon as he was like, oh, I'm a nerd, I'm married, so he settled down.
Yeah.
This is not really his realm of... This is like a geek, which we both are, being like, man, we're going to be popular for like right now, and we're going to embrace being popular. I don't know what that's like.
Yeah.
So if I was going in trying to pretend to be like, oh, I'm going to be Instagram model hot girl, I don't know what that's like to talk to people or how to act with that. So I'm not sure if he's maybe got some coaching for someone. Maybe he has like a bro dude friend. Maybe this is someone he knows. Who knows? We don't know enough yet for him to be like, okay, I'm going to coach you. Here are some things that you would say.
Yeah.
Or if it's going to be geek guy goes in and just says what he thinks a hot guy would say.
This dude's talking a lot about whey protein. I don't know what's going on here, because that's what I would know to talk about. Protein.
Exactly.
Like,
working out.
Yeah, getting the triceps going, football. You know.
Or badly flirting.
Yeah, all those sort of... this could be a bona fide disaster, and I'm really, really here for it.
Yeah, me too.
I appreciate that greatly. Alex, I'm looking forward to you. I'm still not sure how I feel about the concept of people kind of fluttering in and out who aren't there the whole time, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's our take on The Circle episode 4. Tremendous entertainment still. What did you guys think? Let us know in the comments. And if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking the link in the description to the Carter Matt store. And we'll see you here next time.